Well, hello and welcome back to the Wonky Carrot Homestead. My name is Paul, and as always, it is fantastic to have you here. What if I told you that there's a secret to growing amazing vegetables in your home garden? And in fact, you don't even have to go to the shops and buy fertilizers or anything like that. The secret is already in the soil below your feet. Well, come with me on this episode and we'll find out what that secret is. Let's go. Well, here we are next to one of our primary growing beds on the Wonky Carrot Homestead. In this bed at the moment we have corn, we have eggplant, we have beans and a bunch of other things in here. In order to create this bed, we used a no-till or a no-dig method. So what we've done is we've put compost, good quality compost, manure, straw and other mulch on top of the existing soil. We haven't dug into the soil that was there. And we've done this to try and preserve the very important bacterial layer that is in the soil that's existing. And what we're trying to do is encourage the bacteria in the soil to migrate into the new soil that we're putting on top, which is what we're planting into. And as you can see, we're having some pretty good success so far because these plants are looking really good and healthy. It's only early in the season, but they're starting to come along really nicely. One of the places where we've really struggled this growing season is this bed beside me here. This is where we have some shallots, some leeks, and some Egyptian walking onions at the moment. The soil in this bed is much poorer than the one where we have the corn growing successfully. And the reason for that is the initial soil that we used to put on top of the ground layer wasn't of a very high quality. It had a lot of building rubble in it and it had a lot of sand. And so that's meant that the ability for bacteria to colonize this soil has been significantly reduced. So what we're going to end up doing here is adding some compost, manure, and some of that mulch material in order to try and build up the soil again and encourage the bacteria to recolonize this soil. And hopefully that will allow us to start getting higher yields and better quality crops out of this particular patch. This garden is one where we've had particular success this season also. Now this garden is a little bit different to the others in that the base soil that it's built on is actually really poor. There's some concrete under there and there's quite a lot of heavy clay. And so we're not actually getting a whole lot out of the base soil here. So we had to work quite hard to build up the soil in order for us to plant into it. So I've used quite a lot of really high quality planting soil, and we've also added some really high quality compost and manure to this soil as well. And well, as you can see, the plants are absolutely thriving. So what that tells us is that there's the perfect combination and perfect ecosystem of bacteria in that soil to support thriving plant growth. And that's what we need to try and achieve across all of our garden beds here on the Wonky Carrot Homestead in order to create an abundance of growth and of crop success. This bed here is a new bed that we're establishing, and I personally don't like seeing bare soil like this. And the reason why I don't like seeing bare soil is because there's nothing for the bacteria to grow on. The bacteria in the soil want to have plants, they want to have roots that they can colonize so that they can thrive, and in turn the plants themselves thrive because the soil is nice and healthy. So although we are in earlier stages of building this bed up, I'd like to start getting at least some straw or some pea straw, something like that, mulch over the top of this bed, and maybe some plants in here. The intention is this will probably end up being our garlic bed for this year to come. But at the moment, we're just getting it all built up. So in order to promote the growth of the bacteria or encourage the colonization of the bacteria in the soil, I'd really like to get some things in here rather quick, maybe some lettuce, some beetroot or something like that with a fairly short growing period that we can harvest quickly, but allows that bacteria to colonize on something. You may have heard gardeners talk about the mycelium web in the soil and the hairs or the roots or the arms that reach out through the soil and through the ground. Well, this old log here is a great example of that. This fungus that's formed on the outside is a result of that mycelium web, those fingers, those arms, reaching through the soil onto this fallen piece of wood. And will the fungus form here and help decompose this wood? And in turn that feeds the soil and feeds the ecosystem. Isn't that fantastic? Nature doing its job to try and create a healthy growing environment for everything around. It's just fantastic. Here we have a nice little experiment set up, and I'm going to show you the difference between our really poor structured soil, which doesn't hold very much bacteria or beneficial organisms for the soil and for the growth of the plants. And then I'm going to show you our soil that has much better structure, encourages bacterial growth, and helps the soil ecosystem support thriving, healthy plants. So this is our first soil, and as you can see, there's a lot of sand and other debris in this soil. It's not at all great for supporting bacterial growth and life. And by contrast, this is a really nice structured soil. And as you can see, there's actually some bugs and beasties already in that soil. There's much less coarse sand, there's a lot more organic material, there's some nice fibers in there, some nice coarse organic bits and pieces, sticks and bark and what have you, and they're creating a really nice structure. And that's allowing those organisms to inhabit this soil, creating a healthy ecosystem and again, helping those plants thrive. So how do you make your soil a homestead for bacteria? Well, that's actually pretty simple. One of the easiest ways you can do that is by adding compost and organic matter to the soil. You can also reduce those open spaces. I once heard from a really great organic farmer that he doesn't like bare patches on the soil. And I've adopted that similar philosophy here. I don't really like bare patches on the soil because when there's nothing there for the bacteria to feed on in the soil, there's no plants, there's no roots, then they just move off, they die. And so you want to keep your soil covered as much as you possibly can, whether that's with planting or whether that's with compost and mulch on top. Another great thing that you can do is actually add beneficial bacteria to the soil. You can use worm castings, you can use worm wee, you can add some compost tea to your watering regime. And this is an example of compost tea. So there's a scoopful of compost in here, and you can just see in the water how many nutrients there are in this water here. And in that water, there'll be so many good bacteria. And if you water your plants with this, they're going to absolutely love you for it. So remember, if you want your garden to thrive this growing season, forget about all the fancy fertilizers. Don't feed your plants, feed your soil. It's the bacteria and those micro ecosystems in the soil that you should be nurturing. And in turn, they will nurture you with an abundance and a massive, massive harvest. Let me know in the comments your tips for getting bacteria and good colonizing energy into your soil and how you promote abundance and growth in your garden. I look forward to reading them. Bye for now.